Okay guys, welcome back. This is part 3 of the Starting Hands video series. Now you can see we're now one from the money, and this is where things kind of change. Now my starting hand chart really is for the early part of a tournament, when you have a lot of chips relative to the size of the blinds, i.e. to see pots it's quite cheap. It isn't a large percentage of the stack that you hold. So here, towards the end of the game, you can see the blinds are 100, 200, and I have 2,700 or so chips. So I only have about 10 times the big blind, or just over. So again, yes, we're going to fundamentally use our starting hand chart, and just by following that will get you by, but you'll see some slight nuances, and I guess by doing this video series I'm hoping to just show you that the type of moves you can make when you don't necessarily have a fantastic hand. Here, however, we have 10-2 off, which is not a fantastic hand, so we're just going to fold. There we go. And we're just going to carry on playing the tournament. I'm showing you every single hand that was in this tournament, so there are no tricks here. It's simply we are folding most of our hands. Here, the old ace small kicker, ace 3. Again, we get to see the pot for free. And we hit top pair. So when we hit a pair, especially the top pair, we've always got to assume we've got the best hand. So I'm going to let this guy bluff. And as you can see, he bets the flop, I call. He bets the turn, I call. This river is a really disgusting river for us. He could, if he's got a diamond, which is signified by the blue cards here, he's made a flush. So although we have three of a kind, any diamond that he has us beat. So if he actually bets here, I'd actually fold. What does he do? Well, he checks. Why does he check? Because, as we've seen, he is a bad player. And in this instance, he had the second pair, but that's not good enough. We scoop the pot. So we're second in chips. We've played very few hands, so let's keep going. Here we have a7 off. Now, in our starting hand chart, this isn't highlighted yellow, so quite rightly you can fold here, which is what I did in this instance. You could also just push all in this situation, because you're one away from the money and people get scared. People want some kind of cash, i.e. they want to come second or above. So when it's free-handed, you can really put the pressure on. But, I followed the chart here, and that's fine. Here, King Jack on the button. This is a hand highlighted, so we play it. We do the standard raise. Remember, 3 to 4 big blinds, so that's between 6 to 800 when the big blind is 200. I make the raise, both players fold. Next hand, 5-6. Again, this isn't a hand we normally play, but this green come Ertzia, or however you pronounce his name, he's a bad player. He just lets us see all these flops for free. We have no part of this. Again, if he bets, we're just going to fold. We check, he checks, pretty weak, and now actually on the river we make a straight, which is a great hand for us. So we make a bet. He calls. What does he have? Well, he has, again, ace high. This player is terrible. He's calling our bets with ace high, and if you note, if he had followed our pre-flop chart, he would have raised that hand, and if he had correctly raised that hand, according to my advice, with 5-6 we would have folded, so he would have picked up the blinds of 100 and 200. He would have won a pot of 300. As it happens, he's lost a pot of 500. So that proves that just by following my chart, you really can just do winning poker just by default, just because you're following my chart. Okay, next hand, Queen 6. This isn't in our chart, so we fold. Queen 9. Again, not on our chart, so we fold. 9-3. Not on our chart, so let's see if we see the flop. Well, this time it folds all the way to us, so we pick up the pot for 450, and we've not had to do anything. This is how bad people are. I can't emphasize that these $6 sit and goes are truly easy to beat. We haven't done anything at all that's special or in any way intellectual. We've literally followed a chart, and we are one away from the money. Again, 6-5, not on our chart. What do we do? Fold. Okay, Queen 10 on the button. If you look at our chart, Queen 10 off. That's on our chart. It's a raising hand because it's highlighted yellow. Now, because this guy has got relatively few chips compared to us, we have twice as many. We can now really put the pressure on. We can just push all in. Now, this is really when it's only free-handed, and even if you raise the standard 4 big blinds, that's fine. If you raise to 1200, that's fine, because you've nearly pushed him all in anyway, so that's why I just pushed all in, and both players fold. So if you look at the chip stacks now, we're only just slightly behind first place, and we're miles ahead of third place. Jack 4, not a hand we would play, but it folds to us again, which is great. So we're picking up chips, we're not having to do anything. Jack 6, not a hand we play. Ace 4. Here, we're on the button. You can see it's highlighted yellow per our pre-flop chart. So looking at the button, we play any ace. And again, because this guy doesn't have many chips, we just push all in. We win the pot. King 6. Here, the player makes a min raise. Now, King 6 isn't in our raising chart. However, at this point, the player we're up against has so few chips. We have a king. We're just going to go with our hand. He really can't damage our chip stack anymore. So he's now played so poorly, we can just knock him out. We flop top pair, which is good. And we're just going to collect his bets. There we go. We take down the hand with 2 pair. He had ace queen. He was unlucky there, but we won the hand. When the money goes in pre-flop, he's only about 65 to 35% favourite. He's not a big favourite, or 60-40. It's a pretty close situation. Okay, heads up. We've actually made some money now. So at this point, we've made $12. Now, if we win this tournament, we make $18. So we're just going to keep putting the pressure on. Looking at our chart, we have a pair. We're on the button because we have the button, so we're going to push all in. And he folds. And this is all we're going to do now. We're either going to fold or we're going to push all in. When he limps to us here, we take the free flop. And again, we take down the hand with king high because the guy is too afraid to bet. So, thank you very much. We just take the pot for free. Queen 7 is a push all in because on the button, heads up, we're just going to keep pushing all in. We're going to put the pressure on. This is kind of a slight nuance to what you've seen in the starting hand chart, but by the time you're in the money, you can just play so aggressive that you can just look to pick up every pot. He folds. Okay, 4s. He folds. We would have played that hand. Jack 5. Again, we're just pushing all in with every hand because we're heads up. We've made money already. We're putting the pressure on. We now already have twice as many chips as the guy just by being more aggressive than him. He calls this time. He was probably getting frustrated. The board comes out. We make a 5 high flush with our 5 of diamonds here. Let's see what he has. He had a pair of threes, so we actually scoop the pot, and more importantly, we scoop the tournament. So we win $18 there, and you can see we haven't done anything at all challenging. And that's why I'm convinced if you guys follow my pre-flop charts, follow my advice, log on to our site, keep logging on to Facebook, and hopefully you guys will soon be picking up the game and making money. And I look forward to seeing you all generate some dollars, and so we can really get this Facebook Poker Challenge off to a really flying start. Okay guys, it's been a pleasure. Good luck at the tables, and I look forward to seeing you soon.